Sydney Sweeney is in the movie Christy, and if you saw the trailer, you would think this is your typical sports boxing movie. And we've actually reviewed a lot of those on the show. Some low budget indie boxing film. It's the drama is inherently there. Sometimes you win the big fight and it's a happy ending, or sometimes you lose the big fight, but you win respect. And by the trailers, you might make some assumptions about what this movie really is, but it's much deeper than that. It's the true story of Sydney Sweeney plays Christy Martin, based on a real life female boxer who found success, won fights. He was a hammer. She was incredibly popular. She ended up getting a trainer. Ben Foster played James V. Martin, trainer who eventually became her husband. Things got really interesting when Don King promoted one of her fights, brought her fame and fortune and money. It was a rise to success, but tarnished by the abusive trainer / husband that escalates to an incredibly dark place. And let me just say this: Sydney Sweeney as Christy transformed herself. She put on 30 pounds. She does not look like the Sydney Sweeney that we saw recently at the Power of Women conference in that sheer dress. She's very different looking in this. And if this was simply about the boxing, that's one thing. But that it gets into the real life story, I didn't know about this. I was unaware of any of the details. So I kind of like when it's a real life story, but I'm blissfully unaware. And it goes to places that I guess can only be described. It gave me Star 80 vibes. If you've ever seen that film, and I won't say more than that, but wow, I think what I like about the trailer is it really tells you nothing about the back half of the movie. It's really she's a boxer, female boxer, great. She struggles, awesome. But the film goes to a dark place with the abusiveness of her husband / trainer. Remarkable, surprising, and Sydney Sweeney has really stretched her talents. I think she is in line to be at least, I can't see her winning, and I'll tell you why. I can see her getting a nomination for Best Actress. Probably not winning, mainly because of her age. They really, usually with Best Actress, they give it to an actress who's been around a while and earned it. This is really her first role. I would say that, with all due respect to other acting roles she's had in films like Immaculate, she's always very good. She's solid. This, she really put her skills to the test. So, strong recommendation for this movie. You don't have to be a Sydney Sweeney fan to even enjoy it. It's a true story. It's a true story that is riveting. Alan, what did you think of Christy?
Yeah, you really liked it. I liked it.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of momentum behind this movie that makes us want to say that it's a great movie. I think it's a very good movie. I think my first comment to you after seeing it was it was better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, we both said that. We both said it was better.
I think we definitely had low expectations going in. I think Sydney Sweeney does a great job of transforming herself. She will probably get nominated for an Academy Award because they have to pick 5 or 6, and by just to fill a slot, they're going to put her in there. But look, I think it's better acted. She's not Meryl Streep yet. But you can definitely see an improvement in. Hold on, but sure. I agree in terms of Look, for all intent and purpose, this is a movie about a woman who's involved in domestic abuse, where her husband. It shouldn't be any surprise that the dastardly things her husband and coach does here, steals her money, ultimately does some very very horrendous things to him, which got him in jail. I've seen that movie a lot of times. Having said that, I liked how it was done in this movie, and I would see this movie again. And I think it's one of the more exceptional, female athlete in an abusive relationship movie. And so, definite recommendation. Good for Sydney Sweeney for stretching herself. The things we say about her is not in this movie, but she does a good job, anyways. Definitely recommend.
Yeah,
Go see it.
but I'll defend my liking it more than you. It's a great performance in a good film. The
Mhm.
film is good. Her performance is better than the movie. And there's a moment, not to spoil anything, there is a moment in the back half of the movie where she is kind of alone after a moment of abuse that lasts uncomfortably long.
Yeah. Mhm.
Where you see her with see her suffering from that abuse, and she's kind of with herself, sort of deciding what is going through her head and how she survives that moment.
Mhm.
That to me is like, that's the moment where she earned the nomination. But I agree with you. She won't win, but this will be her first nomination and probably not the last. So
Yeah, I mean, if she gets nominated, deserved, definitely.
yes.
Yeah, the other shout out is to Ben Foster.
Mm,
It's funny because they talked about it. She gained like 25 pounds of muscle. He gained 30 pounds of fat.
yeah,
to make
he
this
looks
movie.
bad. He's a good looking guy
Yeah,
and svelte,
he
and
looks awful.
he
in this
looks awful. I did not recognize him. I mean,
movie.
he's got his hair combed over. He's really kind of loathsome in the movie.
Yeah, and like we saw it, and there was a Q&A after with him and Sydney in it, and the obvious questions were, you were such a great bad guy, and you could just tell how uncomfortable he was with things like that. I think he's getting pigeonholed as a villain, and it's starting to like, I need to do a real role soon.
Yeah, yeah.
He's just too good in this movie.
So a strong recommend from me and a recommend from you.
Absolutely.